Hi, in today's episode we're gonna see how a former hairdresser will build a cosmetic empire, mixing in the recipe a fabulist and a philosopher from Greece, a sync demonstration and a minimal design. Today we're talking about AESOP. Hello and welcome back to the new episode of Nesso.design Talks. I'm Antonio Minonne. On the other side of the world there's a Budi. Ciao Budi.
Hi, ciao Antonio.
So we are the founder of nesso.design, and in our career we have a chance to work closely with a wide number of brands. So we understand the language of the brands, and we try to guide you how to read between the lines of what you're gonna see in the offline world about the brands. You already know us. If you come until this point, you already know us, so we already talk enough. Today we're talking about AESOP.
Let's start with the video introduction.
Amazing color palette. Their color palette are so sophisticated.
It fits your kind of style of colors. So, who are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about Dennis Pafitis. Actually, it seems like he has some Greek heritage. For all we're gonna have so many Greek elements during the story, and but he is based in Australia, Melbourne.
He's Australian.
Is where he started the brand. I wanna. He is a man with how can we say, with a strong idea. He know what he wants, and actually build the brands exactly how it's supposed to be from the beginning. So quite in a straight line. And since then, just a few adjustments on the let's say main direction of the brand, and everything start with his view, no, on how he's gonna be when he grow up. He said, no, the reason he start is a beauty company. You know, he also told by himself that maybe he was not patient enough to be a philosopher, not tolerant enough to be an architect. But actually, he got the at least the design view of both. No. A philosopher and an architect, and an architect, sure. Because in the brand there's a lot of these elements that are really poetics and also design-wise, architectural-wise, really meaningful.
From what I read online, I've listened to an interview with his retail general manager, and she was proud. She was presenting themselves as an architect. So the brand itself prides itself as a philosopher / architect. All of them, not only him, but also the entire team adapted this kind of personality of this kind of fusion between philosophy. Obviously, architecture needs philosophy. It can't be just It doesn't exist by itself. Every architect is kind of a philosopher in the end. But the entire brand actually adapted this thing, which is really interesting.
How he started? He started in a hairdresser salon. So, and here we're gonna see the first Greek hints. Emeis, it means us in Greek. So this was the name of his hair salon. And everything started when he tried to build up the customer's experience, in his hair salon, and of course the relation that you have with your hairdresser is quite personal. So you gossip, you take it, you exchange advice, or when you, I don't know, the stereotype is when you broke up with somebody, you go and cut your hair and try to get a fresh look to be on the market again. And his idea was to infuse some drop of essential oil inside the shampoo and the product that he was using, to give a more pleasant parfum and flavor on his product. So here is when everything started, and he started to approach some chemists to develop some beauty care product. At the beginning, the name of the brand was Emeis, and actually it's quite also nice because I have this sense of collective, us. But eventually there was some problems on register the name, and it turned to another Greek element that actually is the today's name, AESOP. There's we can read this name under two lenses, I guess. One is the most philosophers, because every store, every element inside the company, each details, materials, is full of stories. So the storytelling is keeping repeating in all the manifestation of the brands. The other one is a bit literally, because if we think about the pronunciation, the second part of the name remind the soap. Yes. So
double meaning. Double meaning.
And so we start the company, and he came out with one of the most iconic product design ever. Because I think it's one of the also the most copied one. There's a lot of of heavily inspired product about AESOP. But if you see, even in the design, everything is kept to minimal. So there's a maniacal attention to all the details, and to try to keep it everything as neat as possible.
For such an elite brand or international brand, you look at the products and you see they're really extremely minimal in my opinion. But it's really fascinating how they could scale up to worldwide recognition with this kind of philosophy.
I guess also the luxury standard is changing. We already talked how the evolution of the luxury now. Let's say the most popular one is what we call quiet luxury. So you don't need to have a gold Barocco style.
Not anymore.
Okay, and actually, let's say one side of the business is based on the product, beside the fact that are quite effective, amazing parfum, amazing storyteller, amazing design, packaging design. The second element is the personal, let's say, personal relation between interaction. Yes, interaction.
Yeah, in a new retail recently, in the last 10 years, retail experience have completely shifted from more like serving customers to more kind of almost like hospitality kind of business.
Like we see in Gentle Monster, that have the terrace.
It's all about the experience. They want you to feel like home. So you come into the store, they greet you, they give you a cup of tea. It feels like you're coming to a salon to do your nails or to cut your hair. It feels more home, more a place for you to relax. So they greet you, let you in, you wander around a little bit, and then you can even sit down, have a discussion about your skin, the product you can try. You can even wash your hand by yourself. It's more an open kind of space. It doesn't feel like limited with the traditional retail experience.
Actually, quite often they do some small concert, like
events.
I remember, like events when they open the Shanghai Kerry Center that we're gonna see in the next episode. Stay tuned. Like, share, and subscribe if you are interested.
Yes, please.
There was some traditional Chinese musician. Kind of having some ambient music. They will serve some mulled wine with some fruit. So also the choose of the element to welcome you are quite in line with what we're gonna see.
You've been to this event, right? I remember you showed me the pictures. The plate is looks really fresh and healthy. I think the feeling they were
generous,
going for.
Okay, let's move on to the product. So we already said the iconic product. We already say how the packaging became so iconic.
How come?
Initially, there was the idea to have this really simple material, and as many brands at the beginning they were using the glass for the packaging. But actually, with more environmental awareness, you see that the carbon footprint is quite heavy for glass, because they are more heavy. More heavy, so actually making the calculation on their hand, they switch to plastic, and many brands are doing. Also La Mer lately they changed their packaging to plastic. I guess for the same reason. But what is most iconic is the label. And on the label, we need to, because it's a work in progress. All the graphic designer already understand what I meant. So the story is this: they were start to design the label, and this is the standard design process of any graphic design, or even for us. You try to understand which are the functions that you need to put. So they started to write down all the elements that need to go to the label, and they put it in a Word file, one after the other. In a discussion between the graphic designer and Dennis, she was asking him, how about this part? And she select on the Word file that
highlighted.
He saw it and say, amazing, that's it. So actually what we see in black is the selection that was made on the
random selection that the graphic designer did.
It reminds a bit of the name of the changing the design from a PS4 to a PS5. You select, you screenshot, done. Amazing. Vabbè, jokes apart, it became quite iconic because it built a hierarchy, because actually is really well designed, because doing like this build a hierarchy between what is the name, what is the purpose. Also they introduce more language inside, all the list of the ingredients. So actually it's quite clear. And,
logically it's really have distinct the distance and contrast between elements, so it's really easy to read and really embodies the minimalistic approach of the entire brand.
Okay, we mark the font that are used in here, because now we're gonna start to talk about company rules. There's a lot of company rules actually, and all of these have one big scope in mind. And we saw with the many brands that we work with, no, you need to build a company culture, and a company culture, it means also to try to see, no, how can you tighten up all the box of your brand, no. We designer, we are like actor. We can play drama, we can play comics, we can do many things. But for our being, for our way to live, we feel more easy and more comfortable to work with some brands than the other. The same comes in a company when you build an office. So all the elements in the office, all the atmosphere in the office need to be quite consistent, no? And also the employee inside the company need to feel, all this this feeling, this atmosphere, no? I remember once we were designing a office for underwear company, you remember? And we spent thousands of hours choosing the right reference picture, inspiring picture to hang on the wall, because needs to be inspiration for the employee. So everything that you see inside the office need to inspire you and guide you in that direction. So actually, those are the fonts that are used inside the company, for email, and of course they use everything in blue and white, in white and black. So white and black.
And it's Optima and Helvetica.
Optima, yes. Optima is for the logo, and Helvetica for all the content. In black. So let's gonna see how it looks like the headquarters in Melbourne.
Which is, I think, it's not the first I think they have designed, but it actually represents properly what the architectural design philosophy of this brand of AESOP. I think they have this kind of minimalistic approach. Everything needs to be clean, and everything needs to fit perfectly. From display going to their headquarters, everything needs to be the right place, even in a subtle way. It's not really too obvious. No, it's not really square. Everything is not everything square. But if you analyze everything, it is in really invisible boxes, organized and clean.
Even for example, the choosing the wood with all this vein, it makes you want to touch it, so it's a brand that invite you to touch, to feel. It's all about
the skincare.
Yes. And for example, if you see the color of the bottles here, the vase, the decoration, so
everything is following the same theme. This is something interesting, because I think a good brand have this kind of impression in their headquarters. A normal brand who doesn't have recognition, they have really bland offices. They're just kind of white boxes with stairs and whatever. But brands that have this kind of character in their headquarters always have this.
Depends also on the position, because let's say it's in the core value of the brand, to have an inviting environment, it's also the positioning of look quite luxury, so it came natural that all these elements need to reflect on the office. If you have a more mass market brands, let's say it's in a second it's not a priority. So maybe
Of course.
it's something that the company could save some money.
But it can create a culture that is really
Yeah.
timeless. Because, for example, I give a random, really far away example. Google headquarters have really this kind of open home, play, toy atmosphere. People love it. People even try to go just to spend the day in there. This can create really a strong culture between employees, which leads to faithfulness, and then develop the brand further and further.
What about the Chinese company? Let's move on.
No comment. Listen.
No.
Traditionally,
I stop you there. I stop you there. Let's move on.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We are design. Tell me what.
No, nothing. I just wanted to further talk about the color palette. They have this kind of modern retro colors. That if you put it in a mood board, it feels retro. But then if you look at it in 3D in this space, it feels modern. This is one thing I really like about the selection of colors and tones in the brand in general.
Okay. I was stopping before. Before I was stopping you, but I don't want to create a misunderstanding because actually, and I explain because it's a different culture in this company, like AESOP. One of the rules is that you cannot bring too many objects on your desk, and you cannot decorate your object. It's quite the opposite in China. In China, we had the Chinese co-worker. You remember Lemon?
The desk is an extension of the house.
She was heavily inspired by the manga culture, so her desk was full of small action figures, small. Even the desk have some button that was replacing with some action figure. So this is why I stop you, because Chinese tends to over decorate the space of the desk. Here they want to keep everything clean, and for some certain people works. For example, for me, I like to tend and keep my desk as clean as possible. There's only mouse, keyboard, the trackpad, the coffee, and the pencil. That's it. And here, for example, another of the rules that they have inside is what we see there is the moleskine, the black moleskine. Each employee has a black moleskine that they carry around. They are not allowed to eat on the desk. And this is something that I think is getting more common on office, because some employee may get carried away.
Yeah.
So also it's
I was saying that we've seen before employees get carried away with cooking garlic and stuff, or heating stuff that are. It's fine. Every culture has its own, but in a workspace where you have everybody around you, you need to be presenting the brand, so it makes sense in a like etiquette kind of way. I remember I had a friend in Shanghai who she worked in Dior, so they have even a dress code. They need to be dressed in black and white, always in the office. Even if they go to an event, they need to be like this. And this actually transformed her wardrobe completely. After a couple of years, she started having like more black dresses, and it becomes a part of you. And I think this is kind of like a good approach to presenting. Like same with Apple, same with all these kind of elite, sleek brands. They need to be presenting. Employees need to be presented.
For some, it's important. For some, I would say for Dior, maybe I could understand. instead maybe more creative one. No, as long as
depends on the sector.
decent.
Obviously, the fashion obviously they have dress code because they're a fashion. But others, yes, of course, Google doesn't care. You can wear whatever you want. It's the dress code doesn't matter. It's the space. Oh yeah, it differs between categories of companies, between industries, and so on.
One of the reasons why they don't want you to eat on the desk is because there's some place for sharing food together. No, it's also no, again, that feeling of socializing they want also to carry inside the company, so all the employee get used to talk, to socialize, no, and also no, there's some let's say more comfortable area when you can have a chat or discussion or even a meeting. You see, the color palette, the material, the design language is all there. We're gonna see it more in detail in the next episode. I want to quote the CEO. We're gonna meet the CEO now. And this quote will also help you to understand more about the brands.
Okay.
No? Few years ago, a customer said to me, "AESOP is everywhere. I see wherever I go." And I replied, "Well, I don't think so. You spot often AESOP because you are leading the lifestyle similar to AESOP. This is all the key." No? Because we already mentioned it. AESOP is a brand based on like-minded. No? As you mentioned before, people will come just to sneak inside the store, not only for buying, but also for having a try, to enjoy. And one of the things that are around the brand is also they carefully choose where to place where to open the stores. So they study a lot the environment and the neighborhood, So if you see, so they develop also some city guide, and if you see, this is an example of Hong Kong. We keep the same language of the packaging of AESOP, but inside, you can see other places, where to have a treatment, where to library, restaurant. So and it's quite often that in some hotel you see some AESOP product. So this on the business wise of a brand is quite amazing, because you know your audience. As we said in many episodes, everyone have his own following mood board. It's exactly what we say and what we do when we build a mood board for a client.
Yeah, so the target audience in the research, every target audience have their own, list of things or places or environments that they frequent. They go to gyms that are similar to their lifestyles. They go to bars that represent them. They feel comfortable in. Same with retail spaces. So a chic young female will not go to a streetwear place. So there's many specific categories, specific places that you can point out to create these kind of characters. And each brand, as you said, a good brand will know exactly who is the audience and where they want to go. So AESOP in this case knows that my own people, my followers would like to be in these kind of resorts, in these kind of spaces, to enjoy these kind of experiences.
Because what it changed here is the function, but the atmosphere is that one.
Yes.
Basically. So they go more in deep in analyzing the neighborhood and actually this is some words from the design, the creative director, no, that taking care of the design and supervise the design of all the stores. He said each store need to fit in the city, fit in the streets, no, and they choose. We're gonna see they choose a particular place where to open. We have many examples, and AESOP, we're going to have many concepts, so let's speed up a bit.
Okay. So I think just to give more info, Marianne is started as a designer in France. She's a French architect, and then moved to the US, and then now she's the general, international retail general manager. So she overviews all the stores, more or less. She's been with the company for many years. I've listened to one podcast, one interview with her, and she knows the brand very well. And she often talk about how important is to select the right place, the right location, as we will see later on. And they have a unique approach on how to select them and why, and how to start the process of designing the spaces. This is really unique to them. So they usually, in general, before we go dive deep, in general they select popular areas, but not really like crazy pop streets.
With a soul.
Exactly. Like, for example, let's say in this scenario here, this is a Manhattan area. So it's close to the Hudson River. There's a lot of bars and restaurants in the area. It feels more like, the New Yorker dream zone. So this is the perfect embodiment. So for them, this is the perfect place. It's not to go, I don't know, to
and they open Square. And they open next to Cocovi. Cocovi is a chocolaterie, vegan chocolaterie. And we need to mention that in their core, AESOP is a vegan product. They produce vegan product. Let's see inside, because actually the concept is quite nice. Is a collaboration with
Paris Review.
Paris Review. So if you see all the decoration inside, there are piece of papers and insert of the magazine, and also you can have the latest edition on the desk for you to have.
Yeah, in the center, right? In the center table, these are kind of...
Also on the desk and the cashier they have. Let's move to another city.
On the ceiling, I read they have these kind of 1,000 edition of the Paris Review.
The color.
Yes, exactly 1,000 edition of the magazine.
So you see how nice is the connection between a magazine. So the audience, they are careful about vegan product. So actually, you stole client, but you don't stole because it's a different goods. But you. It's like more cross marketing, You join together to attract the same kind of audience that they are well educated. They read and they read a second layer and a second meaning beside this store.
Let's move to the next one.
Next one. Granola is one of the most famous dining place in Copenhagen.
They call it Little Paris, by the way, because there's so many in recent years. There's so many groceries and bakers from France there, so they called it the Little Paris.
And actually, on the other side of AESOP store,
Sorry, on
Go
the
back.
right.
On the other side of the store, we have one fromagerie. Yes. No, Granola is the restaurant. On the other side is the fromagerie, and they basically is like a niche niche store that collect different kind of cheese around the Europe. No, and they serve with freshly baked or hotly baked bread. Yes.
Interesting. How do you know that? I've never heard of this. Okay. Helge's OST. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't pronounce because
I'm trying. Just Helge's. So
interior. Nice. Actually, we should start from the second picture to better understand. So,
why
is
this is
Crawford?
Important?
Is the Crawford is how to say a master of interior designer, and also one of the first collaborator with the brands. Is worldly famous and recognized as one of the best interior designer. Is the one that codify also in a book all this kind of warm feelings that you have in the house, and for this story has been inspired by let's say I will not read that name.
Hammershoy. The last name is easier to pronounce. Just say this, Hammershoy.
Yes. So there was this period that was quite nice, in the North Europe, with I guess also Vermeer, all this kind of 19th century painter that start to have this description of daily life, in the North Europe during that period, and she was able to translate this inside the store.
She captured perfectly this kind of feeling of cozy home.
With the nothing, because what we have the wall are just plaster, but she catch the right color and the right pattern and the right palette. One thing that we need to mention also is about the brass. This is we're gonna see a lot of brass, this kind of raw untreated metal, and wood, because it's in the DNA of the brand. We are talking about the skin. The skin will change with the season, will change with our age, our life age. So they tend to privilege some materials that they will age, will change, slowly with the oxidation.
That's really unique, I think. To think also, one of the things that Marianne was also talking about in the interview, that they really care for the materials, as you say. You touch on a really important point. So material are one of the most important elements for an interior space for AESOP. Really important.
Okay, there's 2 holes on the walls. Let's do like this. Who write in the comment what's the purpose of the holes is gonna receive a giveaway. Okay?
Yeah. That would be nice. Yeah. If you can know what they are.
Okay. Let's go on.
So, Melbourne.
Yes.
Collins Street. It's kind of Victorian street. Really beautiful.
It's not only Victorian Street, there's also the State Library of Victoria.
Yes.
In the streets.
Yeah. Well, when we were studying, I remember. Yes. They took inspiration from this. So one thing also I want to mention, during design process, usually they ask the architect to wander around the area of the location, usually, and to get inspiration from the space around them. So it's not mandatory, but it's heavily suggested to go around and see what's around the space, from materials, architecture, furniture. So usually you will find some hints here and there from architectural elements, or they keep the original style inside, or they will use some materials locally from a local space. These kind of characters will defines usually AESOP. So,
and we're gonna see here, because actually this is before going here.
Yeah,
this is a really is before the ceiling. There's also a business motivation on this, to go around and to take inspired by some elements, because it's also common from the hospitality fields for the F&B. The F&B and all those store retail that based on hospitality, they need to rely on the local people. They do not rely on tourists, So that's why they tried to connect as much as possible with the local area. They don't have a store all around the world. Of course, they have in specific and selected places, but also the district that they choose are quite well thought. I can see in Shanghai they have it, and I could spot which district they choose before coming here, because they choose a French Concession, Xintiandi, and Lujiazui. This
three
was
perfect locations. Yeah.
The three perfect locations.
Yeah, if you know Shanghai, you know that exactly.
If you know Shanghai, those are the three perfect locations.
Yeah.
Full of history, full of reference, And again, for example, when you go inside here and you see the store, you definitely do the connection, because you reminds of the vault or upstairs, but also all the element inside the store. What is this? This is a library.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. If you try to close slightly your eyes without looking at the product, it feels like a library table with the light.
But even with the product looks like books, It's even nicer. It's the only brand that when you put the products is even nicer, because usually the products are mess up the stores.
Yeah. Sure.
Here is the opposite. But if you see also the reference of the light, what is that? That is a studying light for a table of a library. Is that one?
And the Volta
exactly
is actually... the Volta is actually obviously recalls the library, Victorian library ceiling, but also they used the render plus AESOP bottles, smashed ones. So the ceiling is done from cement and chips mixed together with the crushed bottles of AESOP. I think before they transformed to full plastic. So it's
they still have some product in
glass.
Yeah. Some are more delicate. They need a few products.
Okay, but it's nice that they trying to create this kind of texture using already things that are recycled.
Okay, we put a last example, because like-minded is not only on the appearance. We choose we both choose this store with this mindset. It's not about fanciness. It's a brand that go deep to the core of like-minded people. Because, for example, next to AESOP we see Dr. Felicitas. Actually, that was a hair salon for men that was serving beer. And craft beer while you were taking the
Where are you doing haircut?
haircut, no? And on the other side, instead, there's a store that repair home appliance. So you see, there's still elements that are really crafted, really deep on the soul. They have the recycle process in mind. So they really fit in the area, no, of the people. So, and this district of Melbourne is, let's say, a bit more relaxed, no? It's like the San Francisco style.
Yeah, it feels like it from the stores, from the wide streets. It feels like a chill area, suburb kind of way.
And inside we see
I should mention that the in this facade, they haven't touched the facade. It's kind of intact. The metal framing, everything, they left it as it is from the original space. Again,
I have two reasons. One reason we're gonna see soon. We call it Savage. And the other reason is to keep it as familiar as possible with the neighborhood.
Yeah, sure.
Let's have a fast look inside. You see it's way more relaxed. And the sink has been inspired by the story before them. No, it was a worker place. So this cement sink, no, are a reminder of the industrial worker, hand washing bin that were using before in production process. Let's define Savage. How you define Savage?
Savage.
Savage, I think, is more French.
Yeah. Yeah. Sauvage. Yeah. Not to be cheesy, my perfume is Sauvage. I don't think many people like it, but my perfume is Sauvage.
Dior
Sauvage
doesn't sponsor us for this.
No, please do, if you can.
if Dior wants us to make a deep
dive into Dior, we can.
To Dior, we can. Just drop a comment below.
So Sauvage to me is the raw experience. Something strong, something raw, natural, but not natural in a way that natural, but in its essence, like an animalistic and like an animalistic instinct of a human. For me, is a sauvage.
It's instinct, no? For me, it's the instinct to preserve. So they use it as a. They are quite into collect all the element they could to save all the element they could. So like aggressive in try to accumulate and preserve as much as possible. No?
Which leads us to
this one. We are in. This one is Tennessee.
Nashville.
Yes. Close.
Yeah, Nashville.
This one is Nashville.
The home of half of the songs on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many singers, so many bands from Nashville.
Guitars will build. Also, I think also Gibson is from Nashville.
Yeah, I think. No, not sure.
So here we're gonna see that actually, they. There's a company. It's called Woodstock Vintage Lumber that has a mission to refurbish and to collect all the timber from construction site, and try to reuse it. And as a like-minded, they loved this idea. So they made it a they made it a design out of it. We have this installation of this this pillar column that you can go around, explore all the product, and as a forest, because they come back to life as a tree in a forest. They built the sink in the between.
So this store is in a really historical area in Milano, in Birera. Is close to a church with 700 years old. It's called...
it's so young for the Italian standard.
For the US, for example, it's like 3 times the age of the entire country. So 700 years are not too... But for Italy, maybe yes. But for other countries,
still a kids.
Yeah, the chiesa, the church is called the Chiesa di Carmine. So obviously they choose the location because it's a historical place. There is a nice piazza or a square in front on the side. The place
is one of the design hub of
Milano.
No, of Milano.
And if you can notice, the top side of the store have a different logo. It is, I think you can understand even if you speak English, salumeria, place who makes meat, salami or whatever. Dried meat.
The seller of it's a salami store, basically.
Yes. So the interior also was inspired from the same ambient. They took the existing this kind of
60s because the salumeria was kind of the place to go, the gurgery store of the 60s. So we're gonna have these hints here and there, this vapor feeling of also prosciutti appesi.
Some bars actually still have them. For example, in my region, Parma, Reggio, a lot of bars. Even if they serve some sandwiches, but they how do you say, they dry their own prosciutto. So you enter and you see them all on top of your head. And there's one bar which the entire ceiling is prosciutto, suspended prosciutto. Anyway, so they recycled most of the elements inside from the benches, not benches, the countertop, and kept it sleek and clean. One thing that in our research we discovered, maybe Antonio can dive deeper in this, the furniture situation.
Yeah, because they tend to collect all the furniture, and not often like Gentle Monster, but sometimes they redo the store, and maybe every 4 years they change the decoration. So they tend to move the furniture from one store to another, or even to gift to some loyal customer, as a token. So they always have this kind of give value to things. So this is the gesture. And then here we see in this salumeria so many reminds to the kitchen of le cucine italiane degli anni 60, the
60s
kitchen furniture. Yeah, the design language is that one. That one, and they're quite nice. So they create this nice contrast between this modern shape and more curvy and aged
furniture
wood.
Or elements. Yeah. It's
okay.
Amazing.
We talk a lot.
Yeah.
We already dive in so many design examples.
Just to wrap up, I in the research but because we're talking about the beginning or the ethos of AESOP, for each collaboration, from this is my in the research we come up we discovered that with each collaboration with an architecture studio, AESOP will gift three books to each design studio before they start the work. Obviously not the entire book, but they will gift the book with highlighted quotes and things for the architecture studio. And this is to better understand the ideology, the philosophy of the brand, and to understand what they want. So the first book is called Atmosphere by Peter Zumthor. The second is called The Poetic of Space by Gaston Bachelard. The third is In Praise of Shadow by Tanizaki, which talks about the Praise of Shadows talk about light and dark in spaces. The Poetic of Space talk about the philosophy of an interior space being cozy, and Atmosphere also talk about how to design a space in a welcoming atmosphere, in a cozy and different atmospheres, not only cozy.
Yeah, we let's say if there's one lesson to learn as a designer from this brand, it's first you need to read the target atmosphere.
Exactly.
Second is that our job is heavily technical, but it's not only about that. So they come out in a level in which the technicality of the brand is already ensured. So we express in a more literature philosophic way, no? Exactly. With the concept, with the story, no? And this is really important. This is something that is really important for a designer, and also to be concrete in the concept, no, that you the concept that you build up need to matter, no, for the like-minded people, need to be easy to be understood, not only abstract and not merely design inspiration, no, design inspiration.
As a designers, we should always strive to create, to focus on storytelling. Even if you're designing anything, the story, the philosophy, people get captured with these kind of details about why you chose this, what's the story behind this. And the more poetic, I'm not talking about being only abstract and visionary, no. The more the story relates to the customer, the demographic of a client, the more it's accurate. We come across sometimes some designers that wants to only push their own vision without giving too much attention to customer client demographic or the brand needs, and this always leads to...
It is right also, it's not wrong, but what we meant is that there's so much more value when you are so good to express yourself in another context with other limitation, no, that can really sparkle your creativity. This is what I meant. But we already talk enough. Let's keep some juice for the next episode.
Okay.
So enough for today. Like, subscribe, share. It's really important for us. There's a lot of work behind what you see. A lot of hours of reading, understanding, and read between the lines. Next episode, we're gonna dive into more design,
more technical, more
details,
analytic.
Yes, and
let's
see if somebody guess what's the whole for. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.